I was like, ah, that's a stupid idea. What? Like, I'd be grand. So I got to mile 23 and I looked down, I had black shorts on, and there was, that salt you get in like your forehead.
Hmm.
I was covered in it. My shorts were white, my shoes were white. They were navy, but they were white. I was just covered in like layers of salt. I went into salt depletion, but I didn't think it at the time. I thought I just ran out of carbs. So someone was handing out Red Bull, and I was like, oh, fuck, I'll take Red Bull. But it was sugar-free Red Bull. Like everything was just against me
Wow.
after 23
Oh.
miles. So yeah, I was on for 2:46 at that time, and I ran 3:09 when I crossed the line. I don't know how I can't work out how long it took me it was probably, I think, oh no, I do remember it was 12 minutes per mile is what I was doing for the last 3 months. I just couldn't do anything more. I was dying. But yeah, it's crazy. I knew this growing up, but I didn't realize how it would affect me at 23 miles. But yeah, you live and learn. Um, so I've covered the distance in a marathon 5 times. So Dublin, then Milan. I tore my Achilles 3 weeks out, and I was on Dyfine for 3 weeks. I wouldn't advise this, by the way. Took Dyfine at the start
Yes.
line, and then more like halfway around. I took another 90 minutes later. Took more Dyfine, which yeah, don't do that. But yeah, I ran. I think I ran a slower time that day, but I needed to finish. Under Armour brought myself and Scullion over to do it, and he didn't run. And I was like, I need to drop out, but it's like, oh, it's gonna look really bad on Irish people that we're not. He didn't start, and I dropped out, so I was like, I have to finish. So I can't remember what I ran that day. Was it 3:15 or something like that? I can't remember, but I didn't run for months after that. I was in bits. Then Paris, was it Paris next? Oh no, I ran 2:55 in training during COVID. 2:56 or
Nice.
2:55. And yes, it was in around my 5K radius as well. But that sounds
I
worse
wouldn't
than
have
what it
judged you in
is.
that one.
Well, you
I
do
remember
ultra
I said I
marathons,
broke
so
that one now during that time. That was they did that the week in the marathon was like down to 5K or 2K. I'm like, no, can't do it for that. So I'll out myself in that one. I think my Strava out me in it as well. So I won't judge you in that. I just want to go back a quick second to the before you say the other two. One of the reasons we've heard about you being the podcast, I want to quote this just one of our listeners, Owen McCarthy, said, all the great stuff you've done, but he said, and I quote, genius when it comes to Achilles injuries. And there you are telling me what exactly not to do when come to a marathon. And I'm like, I need all the help I can get here. And I was like, no, just dive in and just go for a run and just go for your best. Thanks very much, Evan.
yeah, Owen has an Achilles injury. I think he messaged, or is him or his wife messaged me about an Achilles problem and what to do, and he's gone to get shockwave and every other I suppose treatment. I've been plagued with an Achilles injury since I was that's 17. This is actually, it sounds like a made up story. I went over to Haile Gebrselassie when I was 17 or 16, one or the other, I can't remember what age, to live with him. Like it was kind of like a Michael Jackson moment. Like my parents set me over on my own to live with Haile Gebrselassie. Like what? That doesn't. It's like Macaulay Culkin. Like, um, or I suppose nowadays Diddy.
Why are you bringing
But
all that
yeah,
up? It doesn't matter.
so yeah, I was out in a room with him and I dislocated my ankle. He put it back in. I was 3,200 meters above sea level. He's not qualified to put dislocated ankles back in, but yeah, I believed it because he's an Olympic champion and 27 world records. So yeah, I ran back down to 2,600 meters. My ankle was huge. Then it started hurting. Went to some witch doctor. I don't know what he did, but it gave me a relief. But my ankle's been screwed up since. So any sort of load that I put into it too soon, too quickly, it just flares up. So in terms of treatment for it, this sounds like the worst advice ever, but don't stop running. You can run through an Achilles injury. I don't think what I'm saying is anything new in terms of what's after coming out. Like tendons love load. You've heard about the Alfredson protocol, the eccentric calf raises and isometric calf raises.
Oh yeah. Sorry. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So I would have reached out to him to try figure out how to treat Achilles injuries